Hey guys, I'm really tired, really busy. Why not make a vlog? It's one of those days where the procrastination kicks back in, but nah, actually I ended up getting a free half an hour of time, woo, that I didn't think I'd have today, so I don't vlog enough, so I'm really bad at it nowadays. Yeah, we're just gonna go for it. And so I'm gonna talk about a topic that I've had sitting in the back of my head for a long time. I'm not sure how much I feel about this topic now, but always a relevant topic, I guess. I'm going to talk a little bit about eating disorders, and yeah. So this semester I'm taking a nutrition class, and we, of course, talked about eating disorders, and not like I haven't heard these things 100 times before in every single health class I've been in throughout all my years of schooling. But this time around, I kind of realized that I, throughout my life, have sort of probably definitely faced moderate anorexia. So, I don't want to say that, like, I'm trying not to offend people because I know some people have eating disorders really, really bad. And I never had it to the point of where I needed serious medical help. I always kept myself not in harm. I never actually went as far as damaging my own body because of the way I ate food or didn't eat food. But I definitely had some anorexia, I think. And it's one of those things where it's more of a mental thing. It's not so much like your digestive tract, it's more like it's in your head. And so some people have it worse than others. It's like how depression, some people can't get out of bed ever and they just can't function as a human being. Other people can go through their lives, they just cry a lot more and they hate their life and they think suicidal thoughts, but they're never actually going to do it. There's different levels when it comes to mental illnesses, and I think that eating disorders are sort of a form of mental illness because it's all up here. Like, you may think it's down in your stomach, but it's in here. So, it was very, very, very minute. But I can tell you a lot of the factors of people that help lead to anorexia, I have. Like perfectionism and people pleasing. Like, when I was a kid, oh my gosh, I always just wanted to make people happy and do what they wanted me to do and be perfect, and I've tried to sort of lose that as I got older, as I realized nobody's perfect, life sucks, we all got it bad. It's not going to be good for anybody. There's no such thing as perfect in the world, in a way. So I've started to lighten up on myself, but as a kid I was a super perfectionist, and so that's probably part of the trigger. And you might think, oh well, did you have a sad home life? I had very, very wonderful parents, very loving family I was raised in with like two siblings. It was great. Always food on the table. That wasn't. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I thought up of that kind of led to it, and I'm going to do more positivity preaching because that's what I always do. So as a kid, my mom kind of nicknamed me Skinny Minnie because I was just so small and petite, and so she'd call me that like all of the time until I was about maybe like 6. She just suddenly stopped calling me that just because you're getting older, it's time to drop stupid pet names. And I just kind of started to think, well, maybe that means I'm not skinny anymore. So that was one factor. Another factor was when I was young, my mom used to always have Dr. Phil on when I got home, catch me outside. But like back then, it was just like a lot of broken up, stupid families, and you'd talk them through their problems. Well, one time when I came home from school, my mom had it on, as always, and there was this girl on there, and she was like in 7th grade, and she had hit puberty super early, and her body had changed a whole bunch, and she was like crying about it and upset. And then that was what really started making me think, what is normal? And I was like in 2nd grade, like I was nowhere near that stage in life, and I was wondering when it would be normal for me to hit that stage in life, and I'm like, what is normal for that? And I just became obsessed with the idea of, is my body normal? And I kind of came to the conclusion that no. Well, there is no such thing as normal. Like, we gotta drop the perfectionism, we gotta drop the word normal because it does not exist. as all children do when we come up to the puberty age, you gain a lot of weight, and that is totally normal because your body's about to go through huge changes. So you're not going to keep that weight. It's just a weight of, it's like a growing weight. It helps you change. Of course, around like 5th or 6th grade, I started gaining some weight, and I could not, I felt awful about it. I thought I was so fat. It got to the point where in 5th grade, I started wearing sweatshirts all the time, and it became a bad habit. It would be like a 70-degree day in the summer, and I'd be wearing a sweatshirt so you couldn't see my body because I thought if I wore a lot of layers, it would hide. So that habit even carried on like into middle school, and then in high school a little bit I did it. I tried to start dropping it in my junior and senior year when I realized what I was doing. And yeah, so, and I run warm. I'm a very hot person. Like, I sweat all the time. So that probably was not a good idea to wear sweatshirts all the time. Like, I was probably hurting myself. It wasn't like I ever thought food was the problem and that I needed to stop eating. I knew that a lot of times at that age I started to get bored because I didn't play with toys anymore, and I was like, what do I do with my time? And so I just eat when I was bored. And so a lot of times I'd blame that, and I did know I needed to stop that. I don't know why, it never occurred to me that starvation was the answer, so that's why I don't think it ever got so severe to the point where I hurt myself badly. But another part of it probably is because my mom always cooked home-cooked meals, and as a people pleaser, I would always eat those because, the food's put in front of you, you eat it as a thank you. That was my way of pleasing my mom, was eating all the time. So I never, thankfully, had it so bad that, like, things, went downhill severely. It could have been really, really bad. Eating disorders are super severe, and we can't just overlook them. And now, I did sometimes get to the point of, like, anorexia where you decide that you're going to use exercise to expel calories to try and, like, stay skinny or get skinnier. I did have that mindset. Sometimes I'd start exercising a lot, and sometimes I still will be like, oh my gosh, I don't feel good today, well, let me exercise it. And I don't do it regularly, so it's not like it actually helps. And now that I am older, I'm an adult now, I see this and I'm like, yes, it's in the past for the most part. I don't see myself being bothered by this too much. I do sometimes accidentally watch calories too much when it's not necessary. I'm fine. I know I am not fat, but I just sometimes feel like I'm not where I want to be, which is really sad. And I know a lot of people feel that way, especially young women. There's a lot of harsh stereotypes and magazines that are photoshopped and all this stuff that's not real. And what is real is you. You are real. So we all need to remember that we should love ourselves no matter what. And eating disorders are hard. I am glad mine was not that serious, and I am over it now. For the most part. Like I said, I still count calories when I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm just a basket case. I'm really bad, and sometimes it's not even my fault. I go through like weeks of low appetite where I just don't feel like eating much, and I'm like, I would like to eat, but I'm just not hungry ever, and like if I eat, I'm gonna feel sick because I'm not hungry. So I don't know, that might be something else weird that's messed up with my brain. Maybe I actually have a legit problem, and that's part of it. I don't know. There's a lot of factors, and everybody experiences things differently. So I know what I went through was weird and not really full-fledged anorexia in any way, but I have had some anorexic tendencies in my life, and I need to remember not to let those ever come back because it is dangerous. Food is good for you. You need to eat, and you need to hydrate especially, and you can't just do things like messing with your body because it's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to let your body and be what it wants to be because that is when you are your healthiest. So skinny is not healthy. Let's all remember that. And let's try and promote healthy instead of skinny because it's hurting people psychologically mostly, but physically once the psychological takes over. And I know obesity is also a problem in our society. We got like both ends of the scale, and then we don't have enough nice in the middle examples, so it's complicated. If you ever had an eating disorder, you shouldn't feel ashamed about it, and you should also be grateful for the people that helped you through it. Like, I'm glad my mom always put meals in front of me, and I just had to eat. I mean, there's always someone who loves you, so don't let your image of yourself get in the way. Learn to improve that image of yourself, because your self-image, that can get you a long way. If you love yourself, you can do big things. I promise. Alright, thanks for watching. Very scrambled. Like I said, this idea has been sitting in my head so long, I've probably thought all the good ideas out of my head, so now they don't even exist. I'm glad I got to do another vlog. I should really vlog more, but who knows? It's busy. That's all I'm gonna say.